Okay, class. So I'll try to make this brief. The purpose of this document and this video is to just kind of explain the discussion post, try to eliminate as much confusion as we can, and get it kind of clear before you do one. Okay, so the first half of this document are the basics, just like the basics of you know what to do. The second half is like, what actually goes into the writing of the discussion post, like, what you write. So the first half's kind of in general, second half's kind of, more specific. Okay. So, the discussion tab in the class, in D2L, it has all the stuff pertaining to discussions, but the grade, that's in the grade book. Okay. I make sure that in the name of each discussion post, I put the due date, and also the due dates are in the syllabus. So you have, two places where those are. Try to make them show up, in the calendar for you as well when I do the assignments. But anyways, okay. So this is what you do. Once you've gone into the discussion tab and, you looked at the particular discussion assignment that we're talking about this week, okay, and, you read the little writing prompt and you've done your reading so you understand what the heck it is you're about to write about. You have to, post, obviously. So there's a post, there's a button so that you can post. And you first, on or before the due date, make your, page-long discussion post. Some of the assignments will be 2 pages, some will be less than a page, but, the standard length is 1 page unless the assignment tells you otherwise. So so step 1 is just post your discussion, your page-long discussion, on or before the due date, which is important because it affects your grade. All right. Okay, now you have 2 days. Once you've made that post, within the next 2 days, you need to go to 2 other students' posts, their page-long post, and respond with a 7 to 8 sentence paragraph to at least 2. You're required to respond to 2 other students' posts. So, you do that, and then you also, within 2 days of making your page-long post, you check your own post, and you see if anybody's responded to you to your page-long post, and if somebody responded to your page-long post, you comment back to them another 7 to 8 sentence paragraph. Okay. So 50% of the grade is that page-long post. 30% of the grade are your 2 responses to 2 other students' page-long posts. And then the final 20% of the grade is, step 4, responding to anybody who's responded to your post. Now, if you submit your post on time and no one responds to your post, I mean, I'm not going to hold you accountable. You can't respond to, error, so to nothing. So, I will only base the grade on the first 2, the first two components, if that's the case. So it'd be more of like a 60-40 split or whatever. But, obviously you won't be held accountable if nobody responds to your post and you did it on time. There's nothing you can do. So, I won't hold you accountable for that. All right. So, like I said, 3 things. Post your page-long discussion. Number 1. That was it. Number 2. Respond to 2 other students' page-long posts. Number 3. Respond to any responses to your page-long post. Minimum of 2. Okay? All right, that's the summation. I'm sorry if I'm being repetitive, but people have, problems with this every semester, so it seems like. So I just want to make sure it's very clear. Okay, now the actual content of the posts themselves. Okay, this grade is based on your level of thinking that you're putting in to this post. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, if you're just summarizing what you read, you're just regurgitating back to me what you read, just repeating what you read, that's not going to get you anywhere with points. The whole goal of these, and you'll see from the writing prompts if you follow them and do what they say, the whole goal is to show that you're thinking about what you read. Okay, so no summary. All right? Okay? My advice when you do these posts is that you save them in a Word document or save them in an email to yourself before you try to upload them, just in case something happens. I personally am very paranoid, so anything that I write in my own personal writing life, or the master's classes that I take, or my work at Gordon, when I teach anything that I do, I email it to myself. So no matter what happens, I have access to it. I suggest you do that the same, so you don't have to redo it. Okay. All right. It's very important that you post these on the due date to give everybody time to respond back and forth. Okay. Because if they're late, nobody has a chance to respond to you or respond back to your responses, whatever. It just you're going to lose points. Okay. All right. Also, remember, the great thing about college is that we can have these intellectual debates and discussions where people disagree, and if we base our thinking and logic and reason and and all that good stuff, we can have conversations where people may interpret the same thing in two different ways, and we can have a discussion about that. And it's not important that somebody wins, whatever. The idea is that we think about it, and that in sharing our views, even in they're in opposition, we grow as people. We understand where somebody else is coming from, or maybe we modify our views, or maybe our views evolve and adapt and take on a new facet or whatever. So when you talk to each other in these discussion posts, when you type, think about how you word things. So I gave you some examples. I had a different take on what that meant, or my interpretation was different. That's a good point. But I was thinking, just stuff that's not confrontational. Just respect each other. And I've never had a problem with this, but we're required to put this in here. So there you go. Okay. So again, don't summarize. Okay. Unless the assignment specifically says, 2 pages or a paragraph or whatever, the standard length of these is 1 full type page. Okay. Assignments may be slightly different. It depends. Some of them later on are 2 pages. Some of them are less. If you record a video post, if you use D2Ls, it'll only go up to 3 minutes. If you upload to YouTube, they can be longer, and you link in, you bring a YouTube link in, they can be a lot longer. But either way, if you do a video discussion post, it needs to be well thought out and prepared, just like you're doing a graded oral presentation. Don't ramble along and whatever. Okay. And I want you to definitely hear this. Just agreeing or disagreeing with somebody is not a valid response or post. You're not gonna get any points that way. You want to further the conversation. So if you say you agree, that's fine, but make another additional point that backs up, what that other person's saying. Another example of what they're saying, or more evidence of that, or maybe an additional idea. Or if there is, or if you had a different take on it, supply your evidence or whatever. But the point is that you're taking a conversation and you're thinking about it. You're engaging intellectually back and forth with each other. Which sounds kind of fancy pants, but that's you'll see from the post. You'll find this stuff fairly interesting, I think. Okay. Anyways. Your responses, whether they be response to another post or responses to your post, they need to be 7 to 8 sentences. That's like a full paragraph. So discussion post itself, full page, both kinds of responses, 7 to 8 sentences. All right. Thank you.